Hey guys, Clark Lunt here with West Florida Invest. I'm excited to be coming to you today. Hope everyone's had a great start to their 2022. We've got a lot of cool things coming up here in the near future. We just wanted to let you guys know about some inventory that we have available, but almost even more importantly is we wanted to hit on some questions that we get from our clients a lot in terms of where's the market heading? What about in kind of our own little local market, the greater Tampa Bay area? Where's that heading? So wanted to do kind of a little bit more of a 10,000 foot view. This video is not here to talk about one specific property. We'll hit on that briefly at the end. But in all reality I think it's a bigger question is, should I invest right now? Is the market at the top? Where is it going? Questions that are kind of bigger than just the individual house. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I've got just kind of a quick agenda here to if you're interested in any of these topics to continue to watch. It's just a little bit about the market. Where is it heading? We get a lot of questions about how do you come up with your rents? Are your rents actually correct when they take it to fruition? I buy the property and it actually gets leased up. We'll go over that. Tax projections, a lot of pro forma questions in terms of are the taxes correct? So we'll hit on that. Another big thing too, I think, is that if we're going to talk about, really the debt by time by scale model, and do we practice what we preach in this market right now? So we'll hit on that. And then I just want to hit on one quick brief thing, is that I've been investing personally for about 15 years now in long-term rentals. And so I just want to share one quick thing that I would do if I could get into a time machine and go back 10 years now that I have the knowledge that I have. So let's jump right into it, guys. I've got a few slideshows for you. This is not a PowerPoint presentation. I don't want to bore you guys to death, but I just want to hit on a few things. So let's jump right into it, guys. So we get a lot of questions about cash flow and things like that, and I think it's good to take a step back, right? Let's get up into the 10,000 foot view of things. If you look at, I'm going to move myself down here. So if you look at December, so we just took a year over year into December. We've had enough to get the full data. Pinellas County and Pasco County are the two biggest counties that we invest in for our area. Okay, now, if you look at 2020, all right, the average house was around 280,000, okay? And then in Pasco County is 252, so not a huge difference. You can see here now that same house in Pasco County that sold in the average in December of 2020, now this last month sold at 310, okay? So you can see it's a 23% change between over a 12-month period in December. Let's go to Pinellas. It was 280,000, a little bit more expensive, and now you're at 350,000 for a 25%. So they're very, very similar in terms of the numbers. So the reason why I bring this up is that in all reality, we can talk about cash flow. People have challenges with, is the Fed going to raise the interest rate, which it's looking like that they probably are. I don't have a crystal ball, but there's a lot of people a lot smarter than me that are, providing data that says that they think that is. But in the big picture, in the 10,000 foot view, if the rate goes up a quarter point, right? But you buy a house that if you would have bought that house in December of 2020 on Christmas Day for 280,000, and today it's worth 350,000. Is a quarter point really that big of a deal? Is a $200 a month cash flow or $125 or a $425 that big of a deal when you're creating this wealth through the inflation and buying in a market that's a quality market, that's a market that people want to go to? So just quickly kind of diving into the counties, you can see here that you can see the price changes. So the median average sold price is up big time year over year in Pasco, 23%, 25%. The median days on market, average days on market is down 33%. So there's still a tremendous amount of pressure because there's so much competition to purchase these houses. You can see that the median days on market is 6 days. I like median better than average because it kicks out the outliers and gives a little bit more of an insightful look. Is that a property hits the market 6 days later, it's going under contract, okay? And you can see here that, let me just move myself out, 2020, pendings and closed sales, 3,000, 2021, 3,500. So there's still a lot of demand for this product. And then let's go to Pasco, just talking about listings. So the active listings are down 33%. So there's demand. It's economics, right? Supply and demand. You can see that most of the houses are 133, 754, and 192. So and there's a tremendous amount of cash purchases, which makes it more tough to compete with on the competition. You can see here there's probably 40 to maybe 35 to 40% are going cash. Same thing in Pinellas, the 25%, 23%. Again, median days on market 7. So these are very similar. Pasco is directly north of Pinellas. Okay, and then again, you're down here, so there's even less. So active listings is down 50%. New listings is down 2%, and again, everything is going in basically under say 20 days, the majority of it. And then the ones that are just priced too high are getting there. And again, this is even more. This is like 45% is cash transaction. So I just wanted to kind of bring that to your attention, because 23 and 25%, guys, cash flow is important. But at the end of the day, if you could look back 3 or 4 years and your property has utilized inflation, and you stopping inflation on that one particular property and gone up that much, it's just such a big deal. So this is the real data. So when people say, well, where's the market going? I'd rather look and say, well, where did it go over the last 12 months? Okay, and this is real data. We pulled this directly from the MLS. Okay, so that is kind of the market. There's still a tremendous amount of demand. There's still people moving here every single day in troves. And we feel that we aren't going to see much of an adjustment. But again, we don't have a crystal ball, but we do have the ability to look back in the last 12 months in the data and really kind of understand that there's still, the market is telling us that people want this, people want to move here, people want to buy here, people are willing to pay more money, all that kind of stuff. Are your rent projections correct? We get this all the time. So here's what I did. I went back to our property manager, and I went to the last, let's see, 3 through 10, so 7 or 8 properties. And I looked at our pro forma that we put on Ask David Now, okay? And you can see it right here. Here are the rent projections for these addresses, okay? And then I went and I said, okay, now how much do they actually rent for, right? Because we pass it over to our property manager. We give them what they need to kind of rent it for. And you can see here, 1850, 1650, 1600. You guys can obviously read this. So the average rent projection was 1584. What did actually happen? It rented for 1674, which is 106% of what we projected it for. There was one property that went for what we projected it. Every other one went actually slightly higher, in some instances up to $200 higher than we thought. It's just the market is moving that fast. We want to be conservative with our projections. We don't want you to think that we're doing pie in the sky kind of rental projections where we say it's going to rent for $2,000 and it rents for $1,600, because we care about our branding. We care about our relationship with you. And if we're giving out false hope numbers that are pie in the sky, that's going to quickly tarnish our reputation. So there's proofs in the pudding, guys. This is just the last 7 or 8 houses that we did where we actually went through the process, sold it to our client, and they were actually to then get it rented. Here you go. So that's it right there. And just to kind of give you an idea, is we actually go out, we look at our product, and sorry guys, I've got things popping in here. We basically go and we said, if I was a tenant, right, and I wanted to rent in Port Richey, Florida, and I wanted a 3-2, let's say, what is available to me? We look at what's available with a 3-2, and then we say, is our property the same condition? Is it a little bit better? Is it a little bit worse? Whatever the condition is compared to our competition, and what are they asking? And so each time we did that, and we feel like that we've got a pretty good system to be able to replicate that. So hope that helps you to kind of put your mind at ease a little bit about, you know, why we do what we do in terms of rent projections, because that's a huge deal, right? That kind of hits you on your top line potential gross revenue for the year. And that's why it's so important that we get it right. And if we're going to be wrong, I'd rather be wrong low than wrong high. Taxes. Let me just jump into that quickly. So every municipality is different in terms of how they do taxes. The counties that we buy in and we sell, they have a tax estimator. And so we can kind of plug it in, and it kind of gives us an estimation. Now, Are they going to reassess the taxes the day that you buy the property? I don't know. Sometimes it's 3 months, sometimes it's a year, sometimes it's 2 years. So what we do is we, in our pro forma, we put it in just like it would be, just like it would have just reset the next day. So you buy it, and on day one, your taxes get reassessed at the much higher number of the estimator. Now, if it takes it 6 months, you got 6 months at the old rate, which is great. But again, we want to be conservative with our tax projections to underwrite it, to give you a pro forma that says, look, if you buy it on day one, you're going to start paying that higher tax rate. And if it takes 6 months for them to catch up, or 6 years, that's great. That's just going to be more money in your pocket. Okay. So I hope that helps a little bit in terms of why we project out the tax projections and how we do it. We're just going to take worst case scenario, cover the rent projections. Do you practice what you preach in this volatile market? So, it's one thing for us to provide inventory to our clients, but are we investing in this market that's crazy, right? It's up. You don't know when, are we at the top? Is it a bubble? All these different things. Is the Fed going to raise the interest rate? We just bought 2 properties this month that we are renovating, and we are going to keep in our kind of own internal portfolio because I just looked at those numbers in Pasco and Pinellas just like you did. If I see a property that goes over the last 12 months and it went up 25%, and I'm going to hold it for 10 to 15 years, you better know that we are just as much looking to provide purchase inventory just like you guys are, because I want to be a part of a 25% growth in a year where all I did was buy it and put a tenant in place and have them pay my mortgage down for me. And if I make $100 a month or I make $500 a month, it doesn't mean a hill of beans difference to me, because I have a vision of holding it 10 to 15 years to truly create wealth. So I don't want to be the trainer at the gym that's out of shape, right? I don't want to be walking into a gym and looking at one guy that's out of shape that's a trainer and one guy that's in shape, right? Who am I going to choose? Am I going to choose the in shape trainer that probably practices what he preaches, or the out of shape trainer? So we want to be the in shape trainer for you guys. We want to be in good shape so that we are investing just alongside you guys, running parallel with you, because we feel that this is a strong market. We buy in good areas. We buy in terms of Tampa Bay and as a whole. We feel like the demand is very, very high for this product, and it's going to continue to do that. So we practice what we preach. So I just think it's good for everyone to understand that. And I'll leave you guys with this last thing. And I hope this was a little bit helpful and is a little bit into an insight into the nuts and the bolts of our market. A little bit about how we come up with our pro formas. Are we giving advice saying you should do A, B, and C, and then we're doing D, E, F, right? I want to do A, B, and C just like I practice. I'll give you one piece of advice. So if I could go back 10 years and get into a time machine and start buying, because I was investing 10 years ago, I've been investing for 15 years now. But one thing I would do is I would definitely go back and buy higher quality assets in better neighborhoods. I think we all start off and we see the shiny red ball, which is low prices, cheap areas, low risk, right? But that low risk entails, more turnovers, lower quality of product. But at the end of the day, I look back at those houses that I bought when I first started. My first 3 houses were all under 100,000. I think one was like 70, one was 75, another one was like 85 or something like that. Yeah, those houses are worth double now. So I did something right, and I kept them. I still have them to this day. They cash flow great. They didn't cash flow that great, but I've had a lot of tenant turnover. I've had a lot of repairs that I've had to do, just brain damage that I didn't want to have to deal with. If I could go back 10 years, I would, instead of buying the $75,000 house, I wish I would have bought the $150,000 house right out of the gate, or the $200,000 house, because now I have a $50,000 house that's now worth 100. But if I would have paid 200 for it 10 years ago, it probably would be worth 400. So you can do the math on why I would want that. I would probably have had less brain damage in terms of tenant turnover, dealing with the property managers, and also too, just probably would have had a better quality condition house that wasn't in as rough a shape. So that's just kind of my quick tip for if I could go back myself and look myself in the mirror and say, what would I do if I went back 10 years? So I hope this helps, guys. We really appreciate all of our clients. We love working with you guys. It's a lot of fun. It makes getting up and going to work every day a very pleasurable experience from us. And we hope that you guys have been satisfied and very excited about the inventory that we're out there providing to you guys, please go to askdavidnow.com. We have 3 or 4 properties available right now. And again, guys, it's not about the individual house. It's about being able to take actionable steps, okay, to put the pause button on the incredible inflation that's going on right now in this country. And if you are able to do that, whether you buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, you know, or a 2-1, or in Holiday or in Newport Richey, at the end of the day, guys, it's not, it just doesn't make that much of a difference. It's more about, here's what's available, by the way, we have right now. So you can see they all look the same. You can see here's the 3 that we have. Here's a 5-bedroom, a 3-bedroom, and a 3-bedroom, right? 1,300, 1,400, 23. They're all very similar cap rates. They're all, you know, you could throw a dart at any of these and they're all the same. But you know what? I'd like to think that, I don't know what's going to happen to the market tomorrow, but based on what happened last year, to be able to buy an asset for $255,000 and it be worth $300,000 based on if we mirror what happens last year, that's where the wealth is created, guys. That truly is where the wealth is created. That's the exciting thing, is letting someone else do the work, the heavy lifting for you, in it being a quality tenant that's paying down your mortgage, that's happy, you're providing good quality housing for them, and you're creating your wealth. Guys, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Thank you so much, and I will look forward to speaking to you soon.